Michael, do you want your mic on? Can you all hear me? Is it my audio problem or Michael's?
All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll just start. You can see the trades that I just took. Well, I got this one waiting to go over here. This is not a trade yet. The low on this bar is, I'm not sure I had that in the right place. The low is 11.1. Oops, so my up close. Yeah, that was right. 7 ticks above that would have been 11.8, so my buy stop was right there at 11.9. That's perfect. That's exactly the trade setup that you want. Same thing just happened over here on the ES. I'm going to lock in profit on the ES. Now on the ES, I anticipate it's going to get all the way up there. Okay. That would be from 71.75 up to 77.75. It would be 6 points. All right. Right now I'm going to lock in 4 points. 3 points? 3 points. 3 points. It'd be 6 points if we get all the way up there. On the gold, I don't really see a great target number on the gold yet, but we'll see what happens. Okay. So for those of you guys, I know this isn't getting put out on YouTube right now. So we just took 3 points off of that. Now we have the long trade ready to go here. We haven't gone 4 ticks into profit yet, so I haven't bumped my stop to break even. This was exactly what the trade setup says. All right. Right over here, red or blue bar pulls back to the blue or red ribbon, where all 4 ribbon lines can be seen. That's exactly what happened right here. You don't need the slingshot for this. Okay, you don't need the slingshot for that. You had all 4 ribbon lines clearly visible right there. A blue bar pulled back to a blue ribbon. What did I say the target was on that? I think the target was going to be 77.75 is what my target number was. Okay, so if I paste that up there, my target number was right up here at 77.75. I took 3 points out of that, I think. 4 points, 3 or 4 points, something like that. I don't know. But this is everything that you want it to be right here. All right, that is exactly the trade setup that you're looking for, and that is exactly the trade setup that happened. It pulled back, hit the blue BBC with a blue bar. You got the up close. I went long on the up close. It went a couple of ticks into profit on me, and then I put an order on to buy on the pullback, and it got me on the pullback. Okay, so right now we're pretty close to the high of the day. This is what I thought this move was going to go to. It got within a tick or two of it. The next move is going to go through that. It's going to go up to 80. Okay. The next move should go, I didn't mean to put that there. The next move should go, I put them on the same thing, really? Here. The next move should go up to 80 right here. All right. And here is the next move right now. Now, this move, you have to use the slingshot, all right, because it didn't hit the BBC. So you have to have the separation in the slingshot. But I knew we had the separation because of the way that the market was, but here's the trade. Now, you need to have 10 ticks of risk on a 7-tick range chart. So I'm just going to let that, well, here, I'll leave it out here. Now, on that last trade, we went from 70, I think we got 71.75, I think is where we filled, up to 74.75. So I got 12 ticks on the last one. This one should get up to 80 right here. Okay, that would be a new high of the day, and that's what it should do right now. Now, I'm going to bump my stop to break even after we get 4 ticks. There it is, break even, and here comes 80. All right, 2, 4. Just locking in the profit right now. There goes through 80. There's 8 ticks. There's 12 ticks. So I just picked up 6 points since I started talking here. This is using the 7-tick range. All right. 7-tick range. Right there I went. Picked up 12 ticks there. And the next one was right here and picked up 12 ticks here. Okay. It's not rocket science. It's the same thing again and again and again and again every day. Right now, it should go up to 83. Right? It's got a pullback number down at 80, but it should make it up to 83 right now. All right. So I'll give you these numbers right now. Right. So 83 is where it should go right now, and the pullback number is already here at 80. So there's 83, and so now we should have a pullback. All right, it might go up to 85. It might go straight up to 85, but I'm thinking we're going to get our pullback here. The green line down in the slingshot is all the way up into this cycle. So everything is in place for a pullback right now, and 80 is a good spot for it to pull back to. The gold trade's still working out over here, still trying to do its thing. Now the gold trade was the same thing. All the color was right. We had a couple of them. There was one right here that I didn't do that happened before I got on, and then there was one right here that happened right as I got on. So I went long on the up close of this blue bar right here. All right, it was a blue bar pulled back to a blue ribbon. You could see all 4 lines in the ribbon. You didn't need the slingshot for that because it was a blue bar pulling back to a blue ribbon. Now again, on the 7-tick range, the trades have 10 ticks of risk. So I have a 10-tick stop on this. All right, if it stops me out, that's okay. Doesn't really matter. I lost 10 ticks here, and I just made whatever I made on the other one, 24 on the ES. So, so you just keep trading. You know, the trades are there over and over and over and over and over again. Not every trade is going to win. Not every trade is going to lose. You just got to go with the probabilities, and the probabilities are easily picked off the 7-tick range. All right, I'll leave this up so if it stops out, you'll be able to watch it stop out. But again, these are the rules. All right. If it's in both of these cases, I was going long. All right. So in both cases, the bar was blue. It pulled back to the ribbon. The ribbon was blue. You could see all 4 lines in the ribbon. I went on the up close of the bar that touched the ribbon. All right. In both of these cases, I did it. It actually hit the ribbon on the ES the first time, and the second time was more of a trend line trade, like this one over here. Okay. Well, the second one was a trend line trade, not more of a trend line trade. It was a trend line trade, like this one over here. And if you see the trend line, I didn't draw it, but I told you it was happening again. That's the trend line. You had bullish separation down here. You had everything looking good in the ribbon. So it was looking like it was going to go up. Now, I didn't give a target on this gold trade. I mean, it should go up through 12.6 at least. All right, let me put that down for you. 12.6. And that would be enough to get our stop to break even, which is really, my primary concern at the initiation of the trade is getting the risk off the trade. The ES has another one right here. Again, that's my primary concern at the beginning of every trade, is getting the risk off the trade. And then it's managing the trade, taking as much profit out of it as I can. Okay, so the gold went pretty close to stopping me out. It's starting to look a little more positive right now. It's looking like 12.6 is where it wants to go up to, and if it gets up there, then it would be great. While I was doing all that, the crude oil right here just gave the same thing. Okay, the crude just gave a trade, all 4 with red off the BBC. So you had a short trade right here in crude. Now I didn't do that one because I was talking and doing other stuff. But you had a short trade right there in crude, and that one just went 97.06, went 9 ticks so far into profit. So on the crude, let me give you a number for that to tell you where that should probably go to. Crude is showing 96.85. 96.85 is probably where that's going to go down to. Okay. Let me paste that in for you. Okay, we have a pullback here. That's good. That's healthy. And it should push, if this one closes down, if this bar closes down, it should push down to 96.85 from here. All right. This 97 number, this whole round $97 number, that could become significant. But 97 down right now, I'd be looking 8 ticks down right there. Right. So what I say the number was 86.85, right? We almost hit it right there. The next number below that is just 96.80, 96.80. So we hit 86. We didn't hit 85 yet. And 80 is the next number below. We're about to stop out on the gold after all that. But here, that should go down here to 80. I just did stop out on the gold. Okay. So I stopped out on the gold. The ES gave another trade in here, but I took 12 ticks profit there, 12 ticks profit there. I lost 10 ticks over here. And the crude oil right now is a work in process. It looks like it really wants to go down right here. The weight is on the upside, but the weight is right at the entry point. The weight is right here. So when I say the weight, what I mean is the majority of the orders that are on the ask right now are right here. Okay. All right. So I know we didn't jump in with a prayer and all that stuff like Dwayne always does. And he'll be back eventually, I think. But I'm going to go through my stuff. All right. I just wanted the trades we're setting up, so I just thought I'd start out with the actual trades. So we had 2 good trades here on the ES. We had one here that I didn't get, one here that I'm in. We had one over here that I got that I stopped out on, and one that I missed. All right. So the crude right now, I'm thinking it should go through 80. We'll see if it does. It should go there right now, I think. There it goes. All right, so I'm going to lock in a little bit on this, and it's not really given any good indication below 80 where it's going to go yet. So this right now, guys, is when you would look at, you'd open your chart up and look left. All right, here's where it should go. Below 78, it should drop down to here, to 72. All right, so here, let me draw that in. There's one of them, and there's the other one. So we've already hit this one. Now it should go down to that one. Okay, so here's the DOM. I still got my 2 ticks locked in. 72 is all the way down here. It's going to give us another trade setup to get down to 72. If it takes me out with my 2 right here, it would have to give us another trade setup to get down to 72. And it could do it. You see how the ribbon is still all spread out right here? And that's suggesting you're still in a downtrend. So you can still be looking to the downside right now. Okay. And there it goes. So there's that level again, and it should go down to 72 right now. Okay. So I'm just going to lock in 10 ticks on this right now, and it just took me out with 10. Okay, so in the 14 minutes that I've been, since I started this, in the 14 minutes since I started this afternoon session, I picked up 12 ticks there, 12 ticks there, 10 ticks there, and I stopped out here with minus 10 ticks. So the opportunities are there for you guys. They're there for you every day. Now, all right. So I'm sorry we didn't have the big opening that, big lead in and opening and stuff like that that you normally get when you come into this afternoon session. But that's not my thing. My thing is get in there, get the work done, and get out. So that said, let's get into what we did do and didn't do today. All right. First, if you have not taken a free trial with us, let me go there. Let me close that. These, again, are the rules for the 7-tick ribbon. All right. You want a red bar or a blue bar to pull back and test the BBC ribbon. All right. Where all 4 ribbon lines can be seen. Red bar or a blue bar to test the ribbon. And then you want to have a close in the direction of the ribbon. Red means a down close, blue means an up close, and that's it. You get in there, you stop. I'm using a 10-tick stop on the 7-tick range, okay? I'm just going straight for the 10-tick stop on the 7-tick range. And that's working out for me. I mean, you probably could use a 9-tick stop and save that extra tick. But when I'm doing the math really quick in my head, as I have to do in the morning, then 10 is just easier to write down and subtract and stuff like that. So those are the rules. That's it. 2 steps. Everything's the right color, you get to pull back to it. That's it. All right. Now I just went over how to look for targets. When you look left, you see how the crude oil just hit all those targets. The gold did hit this number up here. It just hit it right here before I got into it. The ES did hit all the target numbers that I gave you on that. All right. And these numbers, these 2 numbers were from the DOM. Anything that's got like this mustard colored dotted line, that is from the DOM that I've read out of the DOM. All right. The regular lines that you see, the purple ones, are from price action. Okay, so if you're using a larger time frame, you have to use a different method of managing the trade. It's piled on top of what you already know about the DOM. You can still use the DOM. You should absolutely still use the DOM. But because you're going to be taking bigger profits, you want to be able to see more than the DOM allows you to see. That's where the price action comes in. Okay. All right. So I was starting to get into this. Now, if you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go here at amitrainingschool.com. Scroll down to right here. All that we ask for is your first name, your email, and your phone number. You can tell us your biggest trading challenge, so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button. You'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that link, we don't know you took the free trial, so make sure you click on that link. Okay? All right, spreadsheet. Now, this does not count any of the stuff that we just did. If you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 21st day of July, 2022. We made 75 ticks in crude, 22 ticks in gold, and 19 ticks on the ES. That's not counting everything that we just did. All right, but we just got another 24 ticks on the ES, another 10 ticks in crude, and we lost 10 in gold. That puts us, today it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. So if I added all that in, that would be, we had 10 here, minus 10 here, and plus 24 here. Should be 300 bucks, right? Yeah. 300 bucks in 4 trades. Is that right? Anyway. Today it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 34 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $14,985 a contract. That's over 14 days, averaging $1,070 per contract per 2-hour trading day. And you can probably see how that might happen. See, in the last 14 minutes, I just made $300 total. And I could have made more. I missed 2 trades. That would have given us at least another 200. Anyway, we're averaging $1,070 per contract per 2-hour trading day for the month of July so far. We've gone 198 days since our last negative day. Those are business days, and we've gotten our goal every day so far this year, 137 out of 137 days. And down here, that puts us on the year at $148,446 over 137 days, averaging $1,083 per contract per 2-hour business day. If you were to add 1 contract per day and quit trading when you got your goal, you would have had to work a total of 19.16 hours so far this year, and you would have averaged $3,817 per hour on the year. All right, now let's get into the trades that we actually did do. All right, on gold, we just have a few. All right, we started out our first trade on gold was right here. We picked up 10 ticks on that one. Next trade was right here. We picked up 12 ticks on that to put us at 22. Missed a few trades. There was one there. I'm sure there were more trades in here that we missed. Probably right in here was one. Right here was one. The ribbon wasn't right. The ribbon wasn't right. The ribbon wasn't right. Right here was one. Right there was one. Now these here that don't look like they're much, that's like 8 or 10 ticks, each one of those. Right? This is like 30 ticks, and this is like 20. All those ones that I missed. All right. This was my moment in time. Right here at the moment in time, I thought gold was just going to go up. I had no real clue what it was going to do, other than go up because it was in the middle of a cycle reset. Let me show you that. Okay. Now, those of you guys that have been in the room that have heard me talk about the cycle reset, with the 7-tick range, it works out a little differently. Okay. You can actually, depending on the situation, you can trade the cycle reset because you don't need the slingshot. Now, with the cycle reset, price, when you get a big move, price gets the cycle maxed out at the top, and then it takes a little bit of a move to bring the cycle back down to the bottom, but you're still in an uptrend. All right. Now, before, when we were using, these rules right here, higher highs and higher lows to determine the trend, rather than using the ribbon to determine the trend, you would always miss the big first leg in the cycle reset. Okay, you would always miss that big first leg because you weren't going to have higher highs and higher lows. The slingshot wasn't going to be right. The slingshot was definitely not going to be right. All right, but now with the ribbon, because you don't have to have the slingshot, as long as the ribbon is right, you don't have to have the slingshot. A lot of times you're going to get that first move. Now right here, it didn't work out because the bar color changed. But if the bar color were white, then you would have gotten that first move right here in the cycle reset. So all I knew at this point in time was we were doing a cycle reset and we were going to get a big leg up right here. We're going to get a big leg up. That's all I knew. I didn't know what kind of a trade it was going to give. And the only trade it did give was from right here, actually. But I didn't know what kind of a trade it was going to give. As it gave it, I knew we were going to have a big leg up. And so we're going to be able to get into it on the big leg up. All right. That's different from the 7-tick range to the 4-tick range. On the 4-tick range, with the cycle reset, you always miss that big leg. With the 7-tick, you can catch it sometimes, or at least a good part of it. All right, and then time went on, and there was another short right here. I missed another short right here that I missed, and you see it was hitting the targets. Those were DOM targets that it was hitting. This target here that I just gave you today, it didn't hit. It hit it previously, but it didn't hit it when I was in it. It stopped me out minus 10. But that was gold. We ended up with plus 22 on gold. I'll save crude for last because I have 20 trades on crude. The ES was pretty good, but it started out kind of rough. If you look at the ES on a 30-minute, in the beginning, we were all over the BBC. The BBC is just flat. It was flat all day. The cycle was flat with it. We had these huge candles, so I didn't know what it was going to do in the beginning. All right. Now, I didn't trade the 4-tick range at all today. So everything was 7-tick range today. And this transition to the 7-tick range is actually happening a lot faster than I thought. Everybody seems to like the 7-tick range a lot. And it's actually easier on me too. So right in here, I missed this first trade. I missed the second trade. Then I stopped out on this one. That was my first trade on the ES. I was minus 10 on that one right there. I missed that long. I was minus 10 right there. I missed a short in here. Looks like it got all messy in here. Looks like I missed a short. No, I missed a short right there. It looks like I missed a short there. And then I took this one and I stopped out again. So at that point, I was minus 20 on the ES. So I was worried about the way it was going to look because right now on the 30-minute chart, it was just hovering over the BBC on the 30-minute chart. And I was wondering how the ES was going to go the rest of the day. Fortunately, crude oil started moving, so we could start working with crude, and then gold gave me a good trade. So we started to get positive on the day, but not on the ES. It took me a while to get positive on the ES. Anyway, we had another break even right here. This one, it ran, and we had a target way down here. It just, I got taken out of break even, sadly. The next one here, we picked up 8 ticks to get us to minus 12 at that point. All right. Then I missed, well, I got a trade here, but I didn't hold on to it for that huge leg down. I missed that one. I missed that one. I got this one. This was all red off the BBC. All right. We didn't need to have the slingshot for that one. So I took that one, picked up, it looks like another 8 ticks. So I was at minus 4 at that point. Then right here, I picked up 5, I think. That got me to plus 1. I missed a trade in there, would have been a break even. I missed a trade in here, would have been a nice profitable trade. I missed that trade. I took a break even there. I took a break even there. Then here, I finally got a little bit more. Looks like I got a plus 8 there to get me to 13. And then this is right before the moment of time. I went from 13 to 19, so I got a plus 6 there. And then we did the moment of time. The moment of time, I thought the ribbon was pretty strong. It's probably going to pull back toward the ribbon and then move up. And I drew in these areas right here based upon what I was seeing in the DOM at the time. And you can see the pullback didn't happen as far. It didn't go down as far as I thought, but it did go up exactly to where I thought it was going to go. So it did the pullback and the run up. That was my moment in time. And then we had one more break even trade here. And on the ES, it looks like I stopped keeping track. Oh, this is okay. I didn't have this. This is what I did when I came in here. I've got 12 ticks there and 12 ticks there. That's why that's not written down. We picked up 12 there and 12 there. That was just in front of you guys here. And that was it on the ES today. Okay, we ended with plus 19 ticks on the ES. not counting those last 24. All right. Crude oil. Crude, we had a bunch of trades in crude today. Look at them all. Go back to the beginning. Now, here in crude, our first trade in crude was right here. We had plus 10 on that first one. Then I took this one here and it stopped me out. I actually got an 11 tick stop on that, so it was at -1 at that point. I missed, hang on. I missed a short trade right in there. Then here, there was a couple of break-even trades that I took. This was a trendline trade. This was a bounce off the BBC. I knew it was going up to this level here. I kept saying it's going to go up to 80, it's going to go up to 80, it's going to go up to 80, and then I ended up missing the whole thing. But there was another trade in here that I missed. In here, you see it hit all the targets that I was going for, but I didn't get filled there. And I did get filled here, and I went from on the ES. No, it's not the ES, it's crude oil. Oh, I got 3 ticks there, I think. Right, I was at 10, then -1, then, wait, no, hang on. Okay, yeah, I had 10, and then -1, break evens, then I went to +2, so I had 3 ticks there. Okay, then here, it looks like I picked up 9 ticks to get to 11. Then 2 ticks. I don't know what this is pointing at here, but I went from 11 to 13, and then I went from 13 to 17, and then I went from 17 down to 7. So this is probably the stop out right here where I went down to 7. So it looks like there's a couple of small trades in here that I missed. And then I went from 7. Okay, I think I must have written them down in the wrong order, because this one here I picked up a bunch. I went from 7 to 22. And then I went from 22 to 39. Okay, so whatever this small one was here, I don't think I included that. So right here, I think I was at +39, or I included it, but I think it was meant to be before there. Then it looks like I had a break even, went all the way down here and came all the way back up, and I had a break even. Then I had another break even and another break even, and then a stop out. So here I was down to 29. Then I got a +5, that got me to 34. Then I had a +22, that got me to 56. And then I had a +6, that got me to 62. And then a +2, that got me to 64. And then a +11, that got me to 65. And that looks like where we ended the morning session. Now, this was the moment in time. I had no clue what crude oil was going to do during the moment in time. It wasn't giving me anything to go on here. It was actually, we're trading above the BBC with bearish separation, so it was in the middle of a cycle reset. So what I should have said is, it looks like it's probably going to go up. Right? No, yeah, it looks like it's going to go up because it was trading above the BBC with bearish separation. But it was below the BBC with bearish separation here, so it wasn't really a cycle reset either. Anyway, that was where we traded for the morning session with crude, right? During the break, let's see if there were any right here. Oh, well, this was after the break. Actually, I missed that one when I came back on, and then I grabbed 10 ticks on that one. Right, and the numbers that I gave you on the downside in here, there were these 2 numbers right here. We hit all those numbers, and then I didn't give any more numbers. So these numbers are still in play. The next number down, I would say, if it's going to go down, be right there. Okay, but all those other numbers are still in play. All right, that was my morning, guys. That was the whole morning. Let me go back over here, and I'll go through this one more time. All right, so if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you got to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. I have to say that. Today is the 21st day of July, 2022. Made 75 ticks in crude, 22 ticks in gold, and 19 ticks on the ES. Put us at $1,207 on the morning session. Today it took 2 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're at $100 a contract, and we took a total of 34 trades. So on the month now, we're at $14,985. That's over 14 trading days, averaging $1,070 per contract per 2-hour trade. Now going 198 days since our last negative day, and we've gotten our goal for the day on 137 out of 137 days. So that puts us at $148,446 on the year. Over 137 days, averaging $1,083 per contract per 2-hour trading day. Now, if you were to add one contract per month and you were to quit trading when you got your goal for the day, you would have had to only work 19.16 hours so far this year, and you would have averaged $3,817 per hour on the year. Okay. If you've not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to eminitrainingschool.com, or you can go to mytradingiq.com. Either one of these, go here, give us your first name, your email, and and your phone number. Tell us the biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. Hit the send button, you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on that confirmation link. Okay. If you don't click that link, we don't let you take the free trial. Those of you guys using TradingView, here's what TradingView looks like. And the arrows are something in the future. And they don't necessarily have the same formula. The up arrows and the down arrows. But these white arrows are definitely different than those arrows. But that's something I'm working on for the future. In here, see, that was without having the bar color. If you add the bar color on, there's a whole bunch of things I'm working on with the bar color. But that was with the ribbon and this bull bear thing that I'm working on. Okay. So there's always something going on. All right. That's it, guys. I've talked for 34 minutes straight. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Right. I figured Dwayne would probably be in by now, but he's not. So, all right. Well, if nobody's got any questions about anything, I have a bunch of things that I have to go do. There was just a short right here on the crude, all red. You can see the whole ribbon. Be from right here at 86. I know the slingshot's not right, but it doesn't have to be. This should drop down to 70 right now. All right, I know we have lines here and all the way down here. But what I'm seeing right now, where'd it go? Let me copy that. Copy that guy. Paste him over here. What I'm seeing right now is it should drop down to there at some point. It is pretty choppy right in here, but that's what it's showing. All right, the ES, it's got bullish separation straight above the BBC, but everything's red. You're not going to do anything with that. Right here, it was doing the cycle reset. You see how you had bearish separation, but price stayed above the BBC. So you should have anticipated this big move up. All right. Now, everything was the wrong color, so you didn't have a trade set up for it, but you could have anticipated the big move up. All right, and now it's going to choose a direction. All these markets right now are going to choose a direction. On the 30-minute, this is just really indecisive. 4-tick range has so much stuff on it now that I look at it. After being on the 7-tick with the minimal amount, they would just hit my number there. After being on the 7-tick with the minimal amount for so long. I say so long, this week, mostly. All right, 55 is the next level down on crude, right? I know I have a line already at 56, but 55 is the next spot in the DOM. Okay. If you get a pullback, that would be a great target number. If you're still in this one, then hold on to it. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Val, do you have anything? Anything you want to add?
If real quick, you would show how to, if you lose your charts, how you can just go back to templates and bring those back up.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a couple of things. I'll show you a couple of things. One thing is how to save your template. Now up here, this is the name of my template. All right. It's got the date that I created this template and the name. All right. If I want to go, like if I somehow mess this up and I go somewhere else to a different template, Now, well, first I just want to save this template. Actually, I don't really want to save that template. It's going to have all my drawing objects in it. But if I go to a different template, you know, the way to save a template is you click Save Template like this. Now, what I was just saying, see, it's going to default to the name that you currently have for the template that you're using. You can go in here and change that if you want to. But what I was just saying is if I save this right now, it's going to have all these drawing objects in it. You see on gold, this drawing object is placed at 1712. Now, this one probably doesn't have auto zoom on because I have to shut that off by default. But this one might have auto zoom on. No, that's off too. I like to have them off all the time if I can. But if you happen to have a drawing object on that does not have auto zoom off, if it does have auto zoom on, and you place this template over here, it's gonna print this. It's gonna make this visible. It's gonna auto zoom to make that line visible on this chart. Where price is at 96, it's gonna show this little line up here at 1712. So everything is gonna get crunched up into one little line. So when you save a template, the first thing you should do is click on this right here. What that's gonna do in a minute here, because I have a lot of drawing objects, is select all of your drawing objects. Right? Maybe I shouldn't have done that on Crude Oil. There it is. Okay. You see how the drawing objects are selected right there? And there, and all the drawing objects are selected right now. If I were to hit this black X, it would delete every drawing object I have on the chart. Okay? It would delete every drawing object I have on the chart. And then I could go to template and save template and hit OK right here. And then I could go to this chart and go to template and choose the template that I just saved. It'll be in this list. Okay, I can choose the template that I just saved. Now I'll go one step further. If you want to save this template on another computer, let's say you have DT Pro on 2 or 3 computers. You know, you can only use it on one computer at a time, but if you have DT Pro on 2 or 3 computers and you created a template on, say, this laptop that you have at home, that you want to put on your desktop in your office that you have at home, and you also want to put it on your laptop at work, what you do here is you right click and you go to template and you do save to file like that. All right, stick it somewhere where you'll be able to find it. For me, like this was one I did with Joe on the 20th. Today's the 21st. I didn't do that with Joe on the 20th. I think I did that with Joe last week, but I used it yesterday in the meeting I was in. What you would do is save this template, give it a name, somewhere where you can go and find it. All right. Then email that template to yourself. It's just a little XML file. You should be able to email it to yourself with no problem at all. Go to the computer that you have DT Pro on. Make sure you have the same version downloaded. You have to have the same version downloaded from the indicator store. All right. But go to the computer that you have DT Pro on, and then right click. Go to your email on the computer that you have DT Pro on. Download the file. By default, the file is going to go into your downloads folder. So go to your charts, go to template, load from file. Now that is going to bring up, I think I hit it, right? Template and load from file. That's going to bring up this thing. Go into your downloads folder and find that template. Just click open and that will open up the template on that computer. All right. Now that opens the template on that chart on that computer. That's all that it does at that point. It doesn't save it on that computer yet. You know, the template file is on that computer, but accessing it from within DT Pro, you still have to go to the file to get it. To actually stick it into DT Pro, once you open that thing up, you know, like let's say I went into, let's say I did this, let's say, you know what, let me just create a new chart and then I'll do the whole thing. Hold on. I'll do a new chart down here if it'll let me do this. Add chart, new window. We'll do an ES chart. Okay, and here it is. Now my charts open up with a default template. The default template is this one. It's going to be my 4-tick range template when everything loads up. Okay, if you go to view all active indicators, it's going to have all the indicators I have on the 4-tick range, the way that I have them, right? That's the way I have things on the 4-tick range. Okay, so if I wanted my ribbon template, if I want to load one from a file, I'd go load from file. I would go and find the template that I emailed to myself. Like, let's say I stuck it in downloads. Here's one right here. I'm going to open this ribbon template. Okay, that's called ribbon CFRN is the name of the template. Now, when it loads up, I'm not sure what version I created that with, so we'll see when it loads up. But it's okay. It looks okay. Everything's looking good. It has the support and resistance dots on, which I don't normally have on, but it kept the slingshot, which is good. It doesn't look like it's got the sidebar on it. It doesn't. Okay, so I'll remove the support and resistance dots because you don't really need those with the ribbon. And I'm going to add on the sidebar. Okay, so this is my new template now when it loads up the sidebar. This is my new template. Okay, so this template, when I loaded it, remember what the name was, right? When I hit load from file, the name was ribbon CFRN. See, if you go to template right here, it's not in the list. All right, ribbon CFRN is not in that list. But if I go save template right now, and I do ribbon CFRN, so it matches that name, say okay, now this is on my computer. Okay, so now I can go to template and I have ribbon CFRN. And now I can go to this chart and I can go to template and I have ribbon CFRN. You see? That last step is what puts it into DT Pro on the computer that you have it on. So you save it to a file. This is probably a lot more than you asked for right now.
It's good to have in depth.
Okay. Well, you save it to a file. Go to template. Save it to a file. You can email that file to yourself anywhere you have DT Pro. Okay, make sure you have the same version of DT Pro. On that computer, save it to someplace, like it's going to go to downloads by default probably. Then on that computer, go to load from file. Inside there, in your downloads, grab the template, load it. Once you've loaded it, then you have to go to template, save template, give it the name that you loaded, the file name. Give it that. Don't use this one because that'll overwrite the one you have. Give it the one that you have on the file. Say okay, and then it'll be in your list. Okay, then it'll be in your template list on that computer, and you'll be able to load it on any chart you want without going to the file. There. All right, now I've talked for 45 minutes straight. Anything else?
And how about the easy way if you just right-click and go to templates and load a template?
Oh, yeah. Well, to just load a template. Well, I just did it for you. You know, to load a template, you just go down here and load a template. Let me go back to that chart that I just created.
No, just in your templates list. Because sometimes it's just that simple.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Right here, if you right-click, go to template, then any of my other templates I could load up. This one. Okay, now this is the CFRN template. This is going to be my 4-tick range template. Okay, so once it's done loading, you're going to see what I always have on my 4-tick range. And then if I want to go back to my ribbon to see what I have on the ribbon, and you saw that I changed the ribbon one, right? Because the ribbon had the support and resistance and it didn't have the sidebar. I'm not sure if I saved that one, but I'll put it back on and see. So now I just flip back to the ribbon template, and when it loads up, we'll see if I saved it. Okay, but that's all you got to do to flip back and forth between templates. If you lose your template, now usually when I do a meeting with you guys and we do work on a chart like that, I'm going to save it as a template for you. Okay, see, this one did get saved. It doesn't have the support and resistance, and it does have the CFCFR and the sidebar on it. Originally, when I had saved this from the file, when I loaded it from the file, if I go load it from the file right now, the file didn't change. All right, the file didn't change. So if I load the same template from the file right now, watch this. I'll load it from the file. It's going to have the support and resistance dots, and it's not going to have the sidebar, right, when it loads everything up, unless I saved it there. I don't think that I did, though. And then I can go back to the template that I saved it as on the computer. Yeah, you see what I mean? See what I mean? It doesn't have the sidebar, and it does have the support and resistance dots. But the one that I saved resident here on this computer inside DT Pro is right here with the changes that I made. Okay, you guys see that? The whole circle of life right there with the template. Passing it from one computer to another computer and messing around with it within the same computer. The difference between the file and the one that's loaded into DT Pro. That's the whole cycle of it right there. Okay, so that saves. I wish Bert was watching this because he has to do a lot of this stuff. But if you have a template in a workspace and that workspace is on one computer and you like that workspace and what you got going on in that workspace, and then you create a template that you like in that workspace, but you don't want to send the whole workspace to another computer and mess up a workspace that you got on that other computer, you can just send the template, right? That's what this does. It saves you all that. So, yeah. So this is a 4-tick range template right now. It doesn't necessarily keep whatever time frame you send, okay, because I'm pretty sure the template was a 7-tick range when I created it. All right, so you're gonna have to look at the time frame and just fix that part of it when you get your template. Okay.
Thank you.
That is it. I can't break that down anymore. That's right, Jeff. That is it. All right. Well, if everybody's good with that, this apparently has taken Dwayne quite a while today in the Reeves versus Phoenix Sanitation Department. So I'm going to finish up here because I got a bunch of other things that I got to do today. And
that's right. And tune in tomorrow for the outcome.
Yes. Yeah, tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. I didn't send you a picture of the shelf that I made, Val. But during the break, I went out and I taped everything so I can make the 2 cuts that I got to make with granite. And I should have that second shelf built. And then tomorrow we'll be all putting up the decking, the siding, the walls and stuff. All right, that's it, guys. All right, so if nobody's got any more questions, if you do have questions for me, you all have my phone number. You can always text me. I think everybody in here has my phone number. You can all text me, or you can email me, or Val. You can email any of us. And that's it. Anybody that's listening that is not in the room right now is going to see this later. Email support@mytradingiq.com or support@cfrn.net or support@eminitrainingschool.com. Any one of those, and I'll get it. All right. That's it, guys. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll leave my charts running here because I got to go run and do some other stuff. So I'll leave my charts running. You guys can watch my charts. All right. I'll put a little note up here. I'll create a little note and put it up here. Hang on. Let me go to my sticky notes and make a new one. Is this how you make a new one? No. I'll leave this up so anybody that's coming in can watch. And I'll make a new note in Notepad like I normally do. Let's see. I'm going to say is over for today. There. I'll leave it in there in case anybody comes in later. Okay. I'll put that up here. All right. That's it, guys. With that, I'm going to wrap it up, and I'll let you watch my charts if you want to. And it just made all those things disappear. And I'll catch you all tomorrow. All right. If I don't see you in here tomorrow, maybe I'll see you in the partners meeting tonight. Remember, 9 p.m. tonight, partners meeting. If I don't have any meetings with you, then I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Thanks for coming today. See ya.